Good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu channel. And tonight we do have the program that we give you every Wednesday. The program is Meet Your Leaders. And I'll be looking at fighting corruption or the fight against corruption in Zambia. My name is Chaza right here as your host. And tonight we'll be hosting, the president for Democratic National Party, who is actually, Mr. Sydney Chiyaba, who is going to help us undertake the discussion as regards the fight against corruption in Zambia. Mr. Sydney Chiyaba, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, sir. Thank you. And I'm humbled for invitation.
It is definitely our pleasure, hosting you right on our Ubuntu channel. First things first, would like to find out, who Mr. Sydney Chiyaba is, generally. Who are you, sir? Tell us about, yourself, and I'll be coming back to ask, specifics about yourself.
Okay, yeah. My full name is Sydney Chiyaba. I'm a Zambia national. I'm a Lambalima by tribe from Copperbelt. I'm based in Osaka. I'm the founder and the president of Democratic National Party. It's a Zambian party that has a vision to achieve accelerated development for economic realization for all Zambians and to make Zambia a developed country. As you can see, there's a word national. So we want to unite all 73 tribes to achieve one goal.
Okay, that was indeed in a nutshell. I would request if there's any other device that you are using apart from the main one, you can reduce its volume because we are having some feedback here.
Okay. Maybe just give me a minute. Maybe you can pause for the minute I check.
All right, we'll get to break for a commercial and we'll see you on the other side.
Globally, 85% of infertility is because of infections, typically the chlamydia and the gonorrhea.
Your time is up. Thank you so much.
Maybe, since I've been mentioned, I can react to what comment Chinda just
Yes.
said.
I haven't finished my point.
Remember,
No, let me finish my point so that my brother can.
Does the Patriotic Front know the kind of damage they have done to our economy and to our country? I do not.
The alleged abduction of Pamela Chisupa, and this case has really kept us on our toes. And as much as
nobody has been acquitted from this new dawn administration cases that have been started. There's nobody that has been acquitted. Okay.
CJ, foreplay. I'm not talking about jump and begin acting like a kangaroo. No, foreplay. Many of us as Africans, we lack this virtue. This is not there.
Yeah, the time project ku Malabo was the first game toilet was Senegal. I think very tutasana underrated because even the home up, you can see the way they are doing home up. But munakati bona na wawina kali no.
It's actually good if you start creating competition in the team. If you don't create competition, then you will have a problem who to replace when one is injured.
The names people have been calling me, I accepted them and I will stand them. But what I would prefer being called as a nickname, I would prefer being called Sambalung.
Welcome back. We were giving a chance to our guest for him to actually, settle. And I believe that he's actually settled right now. Mr. Chiyaba, welcome back. And I believe that you are settled now.
Sure.
Great. All right, we'll take it back to where we had, started from. And specifically, we want to get to know you in the social aspect, political, and also the professional aspect. So first of all, I would like to find out who Mr. Chiyaba is in terms of, the social aspect, the family, and so on. Who is Mr. Chiyaba? You have just, probably come on the scene. We want to know more about yourself. Who are you socially?
Socially, my full name is Chiyaba. As I explained, I come from two tribes. I'm a Lamba and Lima by tribe from Copperbelt. I'm a Zambian and I'm Lusaka based. I'm a family man. I've married and I've got children.
Beautiful. Tell us a little bit about, your education background. Where have you done your school from, and how far have you gone in terms of, education?
Yeah, I've gone up to master's degree. I'm a master's degree holder. I started school in Rwansha, Patamato, at Kansumbi Primary School. Thereafter, I went to Ndola Rural, where I did my grade 6 and 7 at Rumano Basic School. From there, I went to Chwara Secondary, where I did my grade 8 and 12. From there, I came to Zambia Center for Accountancy, where I did my foundation diploma and degree. And then from there, I've done a master's degree through an international university. I'm currently pursuing PhD, and I'll be enrolling shortly during my PhD. So this is how far I've come in terms of education.
Beautiful. It is so insightful, and we are grateful to really know your education background. And that, being done, I think we would like now to delve a little bit into your professional aspect. You have these qualifications. What have you done so far, and what do you do apart from politics? Are you full-time in politics, or, just tell us about that?
Actually, I'm coming from professional background. I'm a professional and I'm an entrepreneur. I do business. I've worked before, so I formed the party just to ensure that we liberate Zambia. I've been in politics since I've been in politics since 1990 when I was young. My father was a unionist, and my other guardian was a founder member of MMD. So when MMD was being formed, I was there as a young. So I started understanding politics at the age of 10. So yeah, from there I've been standing before. I stood in 2016 as MP in one of the constituencies in Lusaka here, Kanyama constituency. I did not succeed. In 2021, I did not succeed in adoption. Then came up with a chance to say, let me have my own so that I can deliver for the Zambian people and the country at large in terms of liberating Zambia from the developing status to developed country. So we have been moving around the circle as a country, developing, then we come back to indebtedness. So we thought, let's come up with something that can help to reduce poverty and employment. Some of us, we travel through a lot of compounds in Osaka, seeing how people live in filth areas, see how roads have been constructed in near houses where if a vehicle moves out of a road, it can easily hit a house and kill a lot of people. So those are some of the areas we've been seeing. There's no change actually. We've been moving a life cycle model. So this is how I was motivated. And also another thing which is painful to me is that I've lived in the village for 2 years. I've seen a lot of rural areas, customer areas being turned in residential areas, people selling land, especially customer land, indiscriminate, where if you look at it, it's a time bomb. Zambia is going to have about 40 million people by the year 2050. And if all the land in the rural areas are residentials, where are the poor farmers going to be growing their crops to feed themselves? This is a challenge. Here in town, we don't have land where to cultivate. We rely on doing something, generating income to feed ourselves. But in rural areas, how many people have got decent jobs to feed themselves? If all land is residential and you have seen, no one is interested to tell those people to stop that behavior. So these are some of the pain points that are making Democratic National Party to come up with any political sense. Leadership is leadership. So as we are leaders, natural leaders, we want to make a difference. So we are issue-based party and solution to current problem. We only discuss about issues and the problems, how we can solve all the problems we are facing as a country, and Zambian people, what the problems they are facing.
All right, you've talked about yourself. You started politics as far as 1990, and you contested and did not make it in the places that you mentioned. Let's come now to the party. You decided to form your own party. How long has this party been in existence?
So our party was registered on 22nd October 2022. So we've been in existence for close to, maybe I can say 8 months now.
Okay. All right. So then, this is a very new party. I think we do not have much to actually, refer to in terms of the party. We'll take it to you personally, as a politician. What is your observation as regards the status in the country concerning, the fight against corruption? What's your general perspective?
Okay, my general observation is that I've been observing the fight against corruption. The fight has been fought. I can say there's some fair fight in terms of we've seen the investigation have been done even to the current ruling party officials in terms of the Sujarite scandal. And also I've seen there's some investigation with previous regime members. So there's some fairness because it has been done in the current party and the former party. So there's some fairness where we can say, okay, there's some fairness. But there are areas that need to improve, like we need to ensure that oversight institution, this institution mandated to investigate corruption cases, they are doing everything in the professional quality and vast manner. They need to do their due diligence or their investigation quietly, where they find evidence, they gather evidence, they take to people to court, and it should be the court's jurisdiction to punish the offenders. We expect harsh punishment to who's the offenders, because the public money belongs to all the Zambians. So if public officials are the one in front of doing corruption and stealing. All they are just doing is to take impoverishment or poor to greater heights. So Zambians are the ones feeling the pinch, because if the money meant for medicine is stolen, money meant for helping social services is stolen, Zambians are becoming poorer and poorer from day to day. So that vice is bad. What we are saying as Democratic National Party, public service is to save your country and the Zambian people. It is not for personal growth. If people need personal growth, let them start businesses, make their own money, no one cares. So we want to see some harsh judgment in terms of sentencing people to deter who would be offenders, who would commit corruption. We want to ensure that courts are handing those judgments. Our oversight institutions are doing a professional job to ensure that they gather evidence which will make the judge job very easy. So those are the fight we need. We don't need to see corruption in the media, publicizing the media, but when it comes to court judgments, people are being discharged. No, we don't want to see that. We want to see punishment so that there will be no offenders in future. And also another thing is that we need to ensure that this oversight institution are also professional. If they hear a case, they do a due diligence, feasibility study in a professional manner, so that they don't arrest the media when the case is in infant. So that when the media is arrested, everything has been gathered. So that even when the media is reporting, it's actually what is happening in evidence terms. So those are the areas we need to improve. And also the government can do more in terms of trying to check what causes corruption in Zambia, what causes stealing public service offices and these other public service leaders, so that they can mitigate or find remedial procedures to ensure that corruption are not happening. One of my observations I've been observing in Zambia is that corruption also is triggered by poor condition of service and salaries for public service workers. For instance, if a civil servant under his job role, he handles 1 million kwacha, and his monthly salary is 5,000 kwacha. Chances of him stealing, because they're high, because he's paid little and maybe his lifestyle is beyond his salary. Those are some of the factors that can be harmonized in Zambia, so that we are paying our civil service reasonable and market-related salaries, so that in return they sign the code of conduct that prohibits that vice in places of work, and also handling harsh judgments, so that they know that if I steal, I'll be in jail and doing jail work for a long time, and I'll be punished. So those are the measures that can eliminate corruption in our country.
You have talked about, the Suji right, saga, where the Luapula province, minister was fired. We saw that quite a number of, UPND officials were implicated in the same saga. What is your viewpoint as regards, this saga? What kind of message is it sending to the citizenry?
Yeah, so the issue of the saga, it looked like some journalists, they are also there's called investigative journalism. It looked like they're the one who unleashed that saga. What we are getting, we don't have a lot of facts. I like to comment on the facts that I know, but from the general perspective, and what I've been reading the newspaper is that there are a lot of high-profile individuals who are involved, mining something without a license. Zambia have got Ministry of Mines. If you want to mine, there's mining license. If you want to trade in minerals, there's mineral trading permit. So they didn't have the license. Then when you are working, you need to declare conflict of interest. We don't know how government operates in Zambia. If employees declare conflict of interest, then we don't know why when they were mining, it was difficult to know But what it looks like when they were transporting, that's when the police moved in. So all those bring suspicion to the public in terms we're not getting clear what is happening, what is our oversight institution are doing. Because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, we need to be knowing these things from the start. We need to have our oversight, our investigative wings who are vigilant, who are able to detect something from the start so that we can prevent the vice. Another thing is that we don't know what is the plan with the Ministry of Mines in terms of nationalizing sewage if it's in large volumes. For us, we believe if minerals are in large volumes, it's better government handles it so that whatever profit, whatever revenue is being collected, it's being channeled to social services. We've got hundreds of things that need to be done to our country in terms of development. If you look around in the compounds, most of these compounds in Saka need to be turned into townships. We've got floods in some constituencies, perennial floods, years and years. Over 20 years in one constituency where I live, there have been perennial floods. For instance, Kanyama constituency. We need that money to sort out those issues so that people live in a decent environment and health environment, not in a filthy environment. So there are a lot of things we need to fund entrepreneurship so that once entrepreneurs succeed, they can consume some people to work for them. So that is the money we need as a country. We need to find our own budget. So if the minerals are in large volumes, us as DNP were saying, let the government nationalize or find a strategic alliance partner where government has 60%, then alliance partner can have 40, either local or foreign, so that they can create employment. If the minerals are very few, let the cooperative in those areas where there's sewage right be given the sewage right to mine. Government can support with the equipment so that if those cooperatives doing artisanal mining succeed, they can create decent jobs for Zambians. And that is what you want. You want a productive country where people identify themselves either working, entrepreneurship or business, farmer or sportsman. That is what we want to do. We want to find a country or want to see a country which is an export economy where we have got people are productive. So those are the message we are sending to ensure that at least Zambia become a better place for everyone, where aspiration can be met, economic realization is being met. That's what we're saying.
You know, these are people that are being investigated. If they are, you know, if they do belong to, you know, the opposition parties and the former ruling party, it is said that, you know, they are being targeted and thereby, you know, it being tantamount to, you know, political persecution. Do you agree with, you know, this statement? What is the veracity of this statement?
I don't agree with that statement. I've been observing what is currently happening. The current government, we can say there is some sort of analysis which involves there are some opportunities and some strength that you are observing from them and weaknesses. Like I said, they are not doing witch hunt. The only problem is that they are not doing everything in a professional way in terms of when they're doing the investigation, they are silent. When they find the proper evidence, they take to court. They are not preventing corruption from the start, but we don't know the gaps which are there. They need to do what is called gap analysis in their operation. We don't know how they are operating. But my advice is that there are some positive we're observing and some negative. I've already highlighted areas of improvement and some positive they are doing. They are fighting corruption in both ways, inside their party and outside. Investigation have been done. We are seeing in the media areas of improvement. Those are the areas they need to fight corruption from the start when people are just starting to do illegalities. And we need evidence so that people are punished by courts of law. We need to see harsh sentencing to deter all the offenders. We need money going to fund social services so that we've got a lot of people working in this country.
Now, when you look at what you have to offer as you know, an alternative political party and the government, you know, in power, what is it that you know, you would want to do different in terms of the fight against corruption that you know, this government is you know, failing to do?
Yeah, so as an alternative party, our stance is that once we come into power, we need to check, do our internal analysis of the operation of this oversight institution. We need to professionalize the oversight institution by doing professional recruitment. We will not be appointing people. We need to check what is causing corruption in the country. We need to vet people when they are being employed. We need to offer code of conduct with well-articulated disciplinary measures if someone go against his job description. If someone still, we are saying we're going to do sentencing. We are going to ensure that if evidence is gathered, corruption is actually judged by the judges so that we deter out the offenders. Those are the measures. We are going to ensure that people who are working in oversight institution are paid reasonable and market-based salaries so that they don't, they are not doomed to involve themselves in corrupt activities and stealing, so that they work in a professional quality manner so that they save their country. We are going to ensure that we change the oath of the Zambian people. People should be loyal to their country, not individuals. All of us in Zambia are Zambian citizens or individuals. But when you are given a chance to work in the public service to serve your country and your people is not for personal growth, like what we have been seeing preventing this country. So those are some of the measures that we are going to take. And we're going to do a gap analysis where we see the weaknesses and strengths and patch up on the weaknesses.
It is alleged that you know, there's corruption in most of you know, the government officials, and the police are not you know, spared. As an alternative, what would you do to actually curb, you know, corruption, especially in government offices, including the police?
Yeah, so the biggest issue which has been in this country is that we need to reduce appointments. There's a lot of appointment and nepotism. For instance, police management should not be appointed. I think they should be professional and they should be rectified by parliament. Thereby, we need to professionalize civil service. So we are saying we need to professionalize civil service. People need to get these jobs on merit. We need to pay reasonable market-based salaries. We need to have a strict code of conduct. We have seen in this country that some civil servants, when they do something wrong, they are transferred to another location. Someone do something wrong in our governance, we terminate his contract if it's a very high disciplinary case. For instance, I can give an example. Someone is tasked to go and manage a road block and ensure that the road offenders they are punished and taken to fast track court. When someone is busy just getting money, is not taken. If he's found, that person is dismissed. Is not like to be in the police. The other problem we've seen in this country, people don't want to live within their salaries on budget. Someone is paid, for instance, 10,000 kwacha. You want to live like he gets 50,000 kwacha. That is not. People need to have behavior. Live within your means. This causes corruption and misbehavior in places of work. Work hard through other means. Involve yourself in productive activities. Find a small business where you do. For instance, you can employ Airtel money booth. You invest something there. You are getting something. You supplement your living. But in this country, we have seen most of people, they just want to work. They want to always live nicely, and it's a problem. So there are a lot of problems that involves people to involve themselves in illicit activities in places of work. Those are the measures that need to be remedied so that we don't have people just behaving the way they want. People say, Boma is Boma. No, a person employed in government, even if you are a civil servant, they should be disciplinary code of conduct outlined. You need to be paid because anyone who works, whether he works in government or in private, you need to be paid to survive. So we need to ensure that we are paying civil servants reasonable and market-based pays. And we've got a code of conduct which deter someone to do illicit activities. Immediately someone does something, his contract is terminated. I think there could be a lot of change in those areas. And we need to professionalize recruitment. So all the jobs starting from permanent secretary up to the lowest position, they'll be going to the newspaper. Someone applied based on his expertise skills, then he's employed. That's what we think. As opposed to current appointments of major positions and people are poorly supervised. You'll find that the boss who need to supervise someone is also in the same behavior. So no one can manage another person. So there has been also poor management practices in these institutions.
You have also indicated earlier on that the law enforcement, agencies are rather reactive instead of being proactive. What approaches do you suggest that can assist in them being proactive?
So they need to be proactive because you see, if people are employed professional, I've worked most of my life in professional and private companies. So what we have seen is that if you are an investigative officer, you are tasked to investigate something. First, start point, you need to do investigation quietly. You do investigation quietly, you gather the facts, you gather the evidence, because courts only operate on the evidence. When you gather the evidence, when we know that this case now I've got chances, my probability is 90 to 100, then I take it to a magistrate court to say, this case I found is this. Then you take the people there. I think the judge is going to do his good job. But what we see is that there's a lot of information leakages within the governance system. How people work, we don't know. Someone is 50% doing investigation, is already in the media. There is no professional code of conduct. There is an unethical behavior, which is not good. We need professional investigators who can do a professional job through doing your due diligence in a quiet, gather facts. Once the facts are gathered, evidence is overwhelming, court is taken to court. Once the judge, at that point, we expect the media to publish all the details. But now, we see 50% it's in the media. We don't know who is right, who is wrong. Yeah.
Now, as political party and president of the party, what do you do in terms of contributing to the nation's fight against corruption? You've talked about the strengths and weaknesses that the current government has. What are you doing about it? I think we haven't seen or heard a number of things that you are doing. Kindly bring to light, what are you doing about it?
For us, we've come up with a manifesto, which is zero tolerance to corruption. We're going to offer we're going to enforce that courts offer judgments. We're going to introduce code of conduct for all civil service. We are advocating for people to be electing people who have act to serve their country and the people, not for personal growth. So our manifesto is clear on this. We have been advocating for this, and this is the reason we're coming on the radio station, so that people can hear our policy, people can hear our manifesto, so that they can compare what is currently prevailing and the alternative leadership that we are offering. We are issue-based party, and we only talk about solutions that we solution that can solve our current problem in this country. So we are a solution-based party, issue-based party. So we have come up with all the solutions that can help Zambia to become a better place in terms of fighting corruption. We are saying all these public service workers, they should be paid reasonable market. Just pay to deter them to involve themselves in these activities. These are some of the messages that we are sending across the country, so that the current government can learn one or two issues in what we are saying. And if they implement, it works, it's better for all of us. For us, if someone does something correct, we support, because we think if someone does something correct, it will help masses. For instance, the introduction of free education from grade 8 to 12, that is progressive. Meal allowances, that is progressive. We acknowledge to say these areas have been done, but we have a lot, we have a lot of things that need to be done in this country to improve the welfare. So for us, we are advocating for that. We are passing our message daily. We are ensuring that the masses hear our vision and our manifesto, so that they can compare and give us the chance to pretend their affairs. We are going to implement what we are saying.
So what is your main aim or main objective as a political party and also as president of the political party?
So our main aim or our vision or our objective is that we want to achieve accelerated development for economic realization of all Zambians and to make Zambia a developed country. We want Zambia, which is a self-reliant country, funding its own budget. We have been rotating in a circle which moves around developing, and we come back to indebtedness. We want that to put to an end. We want a country that can move forward and become a developed country. Massive industrialization, less than 5% of unemployable population working, reducing unemployment, reducing poverty, reducing hunger. We have adopted United Nations Sustainable Development Goals as areas that can be used to develop Zambia. Some of the goals that we have adopted as a party is no poverty, no hunger. So our party symbol is a plate with food, no hunger. We don't want hunger in the country. We want to ensure that we are an industrialized country, led export economy, ensuring that our strategic sectors in terms of mining, technology, telecom, agriculture, energy, and manufacturing, we are involved as Zambian, as opposed to current status where all our strategic assets are under businessmen called investors. Investors are business people who come and invest $1 in order to make a $10. We want to say, as a Zambian, we want to make that $10 so that we finance our social services, so that our people are working. So that is a clear message we are saying.
You know, we are seeing the new dawn, as they say, they are fixing, what was destroyed. And so far, most people are actually, happy that we are in the right trajectory. Do you think you would remain, relevant come 2026, looking at the trajectory, at which we are moving?
We are very much relevant because how we are moving, we don't see any biggest changes. We've seen some minor positives and some changes. Yeah, but the major problem that we face in this country is unemployment, 1, poverty, 2, hunger, high prices of essential commodities. So these things are not being tackled. So we've seen some short-term measures in terms of debt restructuring. This is a short-term goal. Does not mean that you will not pay the credit. The effect of indebtedness will still come at a later time. What is happening is that they've negotiated debt restructuring for short-term relief, just to ensure that the government does not spend money paying loans, but can channel what they wanted to be paying loans to social services. It worked as a relief. Relief is a short-term measure For us, we look at the bigger picture, long-term measures, long-term opportunities, long-term goals. We need to ensure that Zambia becomes a developed country. Most of the people are sleeping hungry, so we are very much relevant, and God willing, we might poor supplies. So there is nothing that has been done to a poor person to change his perspective. There are very few people seeing some changes, but the major problem are not being resolved. And this is the reason we are coming up as the National Party to offer authoritative leadership to what is currently happening in the country.
You have talked about job creation and so on and so forth. Maybe just in terms of job creation, because we have seen some recruitments here and there, in the new dawn. What methodical approach would you use in terms of job creation for a difference?
Yeah, so for us, we are looking at 3 ways of creating employment. One is by nationalizing strategic sectors, so that we manage those sectors and create employment. If we don't nationalize, we are going to do a strategic alliance partnership where we have 60% ownership. The private investor, both local or foreign, they can have 40%. We use our profit to create jobs. We are going to ensure that we lead the export-led economy in terms of manufacturing, agriculture, technology. So under agriculture, we need to revamp agriculture to export grain to various countries like Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, and any other country in the world. So agriculture is one of the areas. We are going to ensure that entrepreneurship in Zambia is well funded in terms of grants. So in each constituency, all 158 constituencies, we are going to have social services so that all entrepreneurs, both general business and innovation, they are well trained in business management and expansion and growth, so that once they are trained, there's a grant for startup capital, minimum of 5,000 kwacha to maximum 50,000 kwacha, so that those entrepreneurs, if they grow, they can consume some people to work with them on decent jobs. Those are some of the areas that we are going to ensure that we create employment. Then another area is to ensure that agriculture is well funded. In rural areas, we discourage or ban people selling customer land. They focus on agriculture activities. Once people are producing a lot of food, the food is going to be cheap, and also we can export the surplus. So these are some of the major areas that will create employment in this country.
In terms of agriculture, it has been propelled that the legalization of agricultural marijuana would revamp the agricultural sector, and there's an outcry that the bill, ever since it was signed, the enabling SI has not been operationalized. What's your take on that?
Our take on that is that marijuana cannot revamp agriculture. If people have been failing to grow maize, soybeans, wheat, tomatoes, hearing livestock like goat and other animals, then what is it that they will benefit from marijuana? Marijuana is not an area that we can focus on. Let's focus on the crops. We know Ukraine exports a lot of wheat. As a result of the war, those countries which import from Ukraine, there's a problem. We can take advantage of that. Maize, meal, we can export to Congo and other countries. Those are the areas that we want to see in Zambia. We don't want to involve in drugs that they will benefit Zambians. If we have failed genuine crops that everyone can eat, those they are not consumed by everyone. So marijuana is not consumed by anyone. Maize can be consumed by a lot of people. So let's do agriculture in areas that can attract a lot of people. I don't think anyone uses marijuana. No. So for me, that is not important. What is important is to work with crops that can be consumed by masses, things that can bring a lot of money to us. Other countries have still banned marijuana as a drug. So we don't want to promote drug businesses in the country. No, we oppose it 100%. It's not a good move. Let's focus to ensure that Zambia is agriculture basket growing these crops which can be consumed in Congo, Kenya, any other country can buy from us. We need to reduce imports for fruits in this country, for other agriculture products, and use our own products, and the surplus we export. So marijuana cannot be sold to a lot of countries, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, it could be, interesting to have you together with Mr. Peter Sinkamba on a debate, probably for another day. Back to the fight against corruption. It has been, alleged by, the family of, the former president, that they are being targeted, and they feel they are being demonized, whereas the government is saying, as far as the fight against corruption is concerned, the rule of law will be applied. No one is above the law. As long as there's a crime leveled against you, you shall be approached and dealt with, and investigations shall ensue. What is your viewpoint as regards, this issue?
Yeah, so I've been explaining about this issue. The issue comes about taking things to the media which have not fully concluded. We need professionalism. When you are investigating someone, don't take the matter to court when you have not concluded. Gather your facts quietly. After your facts, gather the evidence. Once the evidence is overwhelming, your role is to take the matter to court, not to the media. Let the media go and hear it in the courts of law. So the problem has been happening is that maybe the people are investigating halfway, then the stories are already out in the social media. There has been a lot of information leak. I don't know if there's no code of conduct governing people are doing investigation. We don't know who leaks. But what is important is that even if someone is wrong, let's have some moral and ethical behavior. Don't expose people if the courts have not handed over the judgment.
All right. At this point in time, I'm giving you an opportunity to actually, give us your remarks as the president of an opposition political party, and also as the political party, as regards, politics generally, and also the fight against corruption as we get to a close.
Yeah, for us as Democratic National Party, we believe in rule of law. We believe in zero corruption. We believe that if the country, people are saving the country, are well laminated, the money that we make should go to social services and development. We should become a self-reliant country, funding our own budget, and we should have less than 10% of unemployment in Zambia. We should have a productive country where people identify themselves in 4 areas. If you are not working, you are supposed to be either an entrepreneur, businessman, a farmer, or sportsman. So through that behavior or through that culture, we are going to achieve our goal as a country of becoming a developed country. We want to ensure all strategic assets which can generate high revenue or high return on investment, we are involved, as opposed to leave everything to businessman who does not create employment unnecessary. A businessman, if he's working with 1 or 2 people to achieve his goal, is well and good. It's fully responsibility of the government to create employment. We've got major problems in this country of unemployment, which is perennial. We've got poverty, which is perennial. It has got no hope that one day we are going to have full unemployment, reduced poverty. So Democratic National Party came up to liberate Zambia from impoverished country, which rotates through a cycle of indebtedness and development to a developed country, where we can have massive industrialization, considering that other countries have done it, how Singapore became a developed country, how Italy became an industrialized country, how German. If those people can do it, even for us, it's possible. There is no impossibility in life. Let's change our mindset. Let's ensure that our leaders who are coming up, they've got heart for the country and for the Zambian people, not for personal growth. Democratic National Party has come to liberate. Give us the votes in 2026, and you are going to do exactly what you have written in our manifesto. That's my message to the Zambian people.
All right, Mr. Chiyaba, we greatly appreciate your time coming here right on this channel, Ubuntu channel, and particularly on Meet Your Leaders. And tonight we've been looking at the fight against corruption. We've been hosting, the Democratic National Party president, Mr. Sidney Chiyaba. We are so grateful, sir, and we'll definitely call on you even next time right here to discuss, pertinent issues. Thank you so much. And not forgetting the people out there that have been following and watching. We greatly appreciate. This has been Meet Your Leaders on Ubuntu channel. Your host, my name is Chaza right here. Till then, God bless you all.
Thank you.